because the Soviet Union contained this agreement right here as Kazakhstan.
That whole thing?
No way. So Russia is the yellow here, but the Soviet Union included Russia, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine, and all these things.
So it's kind of like Europe, but like mixed.
It's kind of like me hitting you in the face of Europe right now.
Oh, Cody, stop!
I can't help it. Yo, I'm getting something.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, please. Sir. Cody's pissing me off.
Okay. So then, guess what?
You said I can't.
Sit down.
He's not a lion.
I am lying.
The next thing that happened, and this is all in the 30s leading up to World War II, the next thing that happened was that there was a civil war in Spain.
Yeah. What is
We already learned all this.
Yo, we learned this last
I've just kind of been like zoning out, but now that I'm actually like listening to what you're saying, we're actually learning all this.
Snap?
Good.
Yeah,
We're
Man,
just going
you're
over.
such a professional.
We're going over it quick. We didn't spend a lot of time on this. There was a civil war in Spain. A general in the army there decided to take over the government. His name was Francisco Franco. And he had a civil war, and he was helped by Hitler and Mussolini, and the other side was helped by the Soviet Union.
Wars?
What?
That dude went through 3 wars then?
He's straight up Tupac up in there.
Yeah.
No, he's 50 Cent.
He
got
was
shot
straight
like
up
9
popping
times.
gas.
He got shot
Popping
like 9
gas,
times.
making
and
bang,
walked-
popping gas.
Yo, come on, man. You're such a disruptor.
So
white. Shut your mouth.
So that's- So all that's going on in the world. What was the United States doing at that point?
We were partying because it was the prohibition.
Yo,
It was the roaring
Guys, come
20s.
on. That's
we're
all.
answering your question.
That's all.
I was just answering your question. It was the right answer.
Don't yell at me. We're answering your question.
Yeah. That's like sending someone to jail.
The Americans at that time, the dominant feeling among Americans was that we shouldn't get involved in those activities. That we didn't really care if Japan invaded China, or we didn't care if the Germans and Italians started wars. That was called isolationism. That word's on page 534. Isolationism is the feeling, America claimed to isolationism, that's the feeling that we shouldn't get involved in overseas activities, and it's none of our business.
Why do we get involved? Or what did we?
Because we're peace.
Well,
About the oil.
in the 30s, we really didn't get involved with any of the things that were going on.
That's when I was born,
in
yeah.
Your
Europe.
sweater reminds me of Mr. Rogers. I've been thinking about that all class, and it just
Mr. Rogers' sweater's always buttoned down.
yeah, but you look like you're about to.
Mr. Rogers' kid is my hero.
He died like when I was in second grade.
Okay, but
I watched video. I want to see both of those.
Oh my god.
Did you see how slow he
Friends. Mexican down, Mexican down.
Travis always
Let's
likes
chill
to
out.
do.
I said I want to see that video.
towards the end of the 30s,
Ulysses
the United
is
States
gangster now.
began to
I can help myself sometimes.
Oh, forgot.
in the middle of the 30s, Congress passed something called the Neutrality Acts that outlawed sales of weapons, arms, to either sides of these countries.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go to the next section, page 536.
Yeah. That was fun. Can I do it again? Why?
Dude, do it off the table.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. This one's table something.
Okay, sit down. No. Take it off. Take it off.
Take it off.
Take it.
Take it off. Take it off.
Man, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Travis, you do that, it's true.
Wow, sit down.
Come on, Travis, just sit down.
Fuck off.
Hey, go to the office. Go to the office and tell them why you're there.
Alright.
Yo, just tell them that you fell.
Oh,
Bye, El Mexican. I'm gonna miss you.
God damn
We
it!
should stop
What if
after
you-
you're really long video.
Come on. You want to
So,
go
yeah,
too?
stop now.
Whoa.
Quiet. Quiet. Watch your language.
I mean, how long can
I've
you
been
go
watching
for?
my
It's like
language.
never
I
ending.
can't. It was on my mouth.
Okay.
Am I watching my language?
Okay.
It'll stop recording.
The next section.
It'll stop
Okay.
recording if it is.
Next section. The war in Europe starts in the late 1930s. The war in Europe starts. The first. We're on page
You
536
said
now.
1830s?
1930s.
I thought you said 18.
It's 1930s. That's fairly recent.
Yeah. There was pennies still out there today from back then.
Right? Your grandparents may have been alive.
I have one from 39.
Yeah, mine
Um,
was.
Yeah.
It was old.
Maybe.
10.
Maybe.
Mine was
Maybe.
old.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You might be a little too young for that. My parents were alive in the 30s.
Are you going to substitute here tomorrow?
No.
Grandpa.
Wait, why was
When's
this
the next time
guy
you're
out for 4
subbing?
days?
He was out for 3 days.
When's the next time you're subbing
I
here?
know my grandpa.
Is he on jury duty?
I'm going to bring you a cardigan and some
Good. Okay. So, in the 30s, the peace in Europe began to fall apart. Hitler was pretty aggressive, and he thought that all Germans should be under the same rule.
Yeah.
And
I was
currently,
grateful.
there was a country called Austria. I don't know if you know the country Austria, but it was
Yeah,
German.
who doesn't know about the Austrian country?
Okay, Austria. They speak German there. They're Germans in Austria.
That's where what's his name came from.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. And right, he sounds German, right? So in 19
Just making sure.
We just saw him go off on like a warrior.
In
Yeah, what if
19
he was just walking through a hall and he was like,
Change
good
it to a
man.
separate hour bound for like
in 1938, Germany took over Austria, or had a union with Austria. But basically, Germany took it over. And then the next part, there's this. If you look at the section called "Bargaining for the Sudetenland." Sudetenland was a part of Czechoslovakia.
Wait, what?
Isn't that like a really dangerous place where you go there and you die?
Nope. So
That's what I heard.
So this is Germany, right? So Germany took over Austria. I just need this picture on the next page.
That's hot.
Don't shoot, guys. Do it.
Okay, so there were Germans who lived in a part of Czechoslovakia, and so Hitler, because of his position that all Germans should be in Germany, demanded. Come on.
Sorry, I had to get it all out. It's starting to hurt. When did we say Hitler's birthday was?
420.
420!
And it was like 1889 or, yeah.
1889. He lived all the way up to 1930.
It's not that
He lived
long.
in 2 different decades.
Yeah, but he only lived to like 40.
So did we. You were born in 1990.
Didn't he die with some hot chick?
Like
His girlfriend. Then he like
Yeah.
committed suicide or something.
Was she hot?
No,
Let's
he-
take
Did
it
you
to my-
tap that?
Oh, we
he
got
thought
back.
so.
Did you tap that? If you're back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone back in the day was ugly. I've noticed.
What?
Everyone back in the day is ugly.
No, yeah, there was some hot chicks in them movies.
Yeah, well, that's
Oh yeah, because they're really from this day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, good job. But no, I meant really back in the day. The action.
Back in the
Had to
day.
figure that one out.
Yeah, because in movies they can make it look like anybody
Oh,
they want
buddy.
They can make Monroe look like Queen Latifah.
to. Ew.
Okay. So Germany. Listen now. This next part is actually something that people talk about a lot. Germany wanted part of Czechoslovakia that had the Germans in it. And both England and France said, no, you can't do that. If you do that, we'll go to war.
I don't want to go to war.
And so they kept arguing about it, and finally they met in Munich. Germany, England, Germany, Britain, France, and Italy. And at that meeting, Hitler promised that that's the last thing he was going to want. So since he promised that, the English and the French gave the part of Czechoslovakia to the Germans.
Yes.
Okay? So
Where did
so that's known as
that was good.
appeasement. They gave him part of that country in the thought that he would stop and not make more trouble. And so that's a
troublemaker.
So that's a famous, and as we'll see, it didn't work out. It didn't even work out for 6 months. That, you know, soon after that, Hitler wanted more. So it was a Neville Chamberlain, unfortunately for him, is kind of.
And then he chose Jews.
Neville Chamberlain,
I always chose Jews and not like
what I just said.